In a photography world that is rushing towards mirrorless everything, there's one camera out there that's refusing to end an era that it actually defined. The Nikon D850. Let's rewind for a moment. It's 2017. Nikon drops a bombshell announcement. The D850, a full-frame DSLR with 45.7 megapixels, no low-pass filter, 4K video with no crop, 7 frames per second, and a crazy, wild, amazing dynamic range. All powered by one single ENEL15 battery. It landed in a world where the DSLRs still ruled the roost. However, the mirrorless tide was rising very quickly. Sony was gaining traction and Nikon was already working on their Z series. But the D850, it stood its ground. No eye detect autofocus, no EVF, just an optical viewfinder, a rock-solid magnesium alloy body, and Nikon's best ever sensor. Now here's the thing about the D850. It was not just a spec sheet warrior. It was reliable, versatile, and above all, the thing just gets out of your way. I have used this camera for literally everything. Sports, portraits, real estate, architecture, landscape, time-lapse, video, slow motion video. It's like stepping into a classic car. You just know it's gonna work. No error messages, no firmware drama, just results. Photographers didn't just love the D850 for what it could do. They loved this thing for how it makes them feel. This thing is a tank, and you know that as soon as you pick it up. It's not like you're walking around babying a fragile little mirrorless camera. This thing is built to last. You know when you have this in your hand, it could survive a small war zone if you needed it to. But it also hits that technical sweet spot which we all love and all need. It's got a 45.7 megapixel full frame sensor. The dynamic range is like 14 stops of light. The dynamic range on this camera rivals film, in my opinion. This thing is just amazing. Take it out in any lighting situation, and this thing has got you covered even when you're gonna screw up. If you want to shoot sports or action with it, you can. You can shoot 7 frames a second just with the normal, without the grip, but with the battery grip. You can get up to 9 shots a second. I know that doesn't come close to the 30 or even 60 frames a second you're getting on some of these mirrorless cameras. But I have found for the sports and wildlife and action shots that I've done, the D850 gets the job done for me. You can shoot up to 8K video. You can do internal time lapses, and it also has an intervalometer, so you can do still frame time-lapse photography as well, if that's what you want to do. You can also do silent shooting when you're in live view, which is helpful if you're shooting your niece or nephew or your child's recital. You don't want to make any noise, so you're out in the woods, don't want to scare that deer away. It has internal focus stacking. It has internal HDR still imagery. I mean, this thing is just, it's got everything you're going to possibly need, and it is so built to last. Like I've said before, this thing is just a tank. And speaking of the build, I mean, classic Nikon weather sealing. I've had this thing out in the snow, out in the rain, out in the downpour. No issues, knock on wood. No issues whatsoever. Magnesium alloy body. I mean, like I said, it's built. This thing is heavy. If I have one complaint about it, and it's not really a complaint because it's also a feature, is this thing is like a boat anchor. This thing is heavy. You carry it around all day, you're gonna feel it, especially if you're old like me. The optical viewfinder, it is crisp, it is clear, it is sharp as a tack, no lag whatsoever. The thing is awesome. And the battery life, you're going to get about 1,500 shots per battery, so that's pretty darn good. And when you fire it up, I mean, it's instant. It fires up instantly, right away. There's no lag, there's no waiting, no wait time at all. Fire it up and start shooting. You're good to go. As I said earlier, the D850 was launched in 2017. 1 year later, Nikon announced its first mirrorless line, the Z series. This thing, it was not designed with mirrorless anything in mind. It was pure DSLR philosophy. And that, my friends, is what makes it feel like Nikon's final swan song. Nikon's final perfected version of the DSLR. And yeah, I know the D6 came later, but in my opinion that camera did not focus on image quality, it focused on speed. Canon and Nikon have now moved all of their flagship research and development into mirrorless. The DSLR, my friends, is a thing of the past. And there hasn't been any DSLR released after the D850 that has even come close to surpassing it. It remains the most well-rounded DSLR ever made. And the way things are going, I think it'll hold that title forever. Although mirrorless has overtaken the DSLR in almost every single technical way, autofocus is like 1,000 times faster, video is so much better than the DSLR, and much lighter bodies. There's just something special about the D850 that reminds us photography has not really always been just about specs. It's about feel. It's about what feels good in your hands. And this thing feels good in your hand. And it has soul. The D850 wasn't just Nikon's last DSLR. It was the DSLR. It was Nikon's mic drop before walking off the DSLR stage for the very last time. Mirrorless might be the present and the future, but the Nikon D850 is a masterpiece. So hey, if you're into old school nostalgic photography and you enjoy videos about the D850, other Nikon products, and photographing small towns with old world charm, why don't you hit the old subscribe button, ring that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. My name is Garrick. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time, everybody. Bye bye. Okay, so I just attempted a 3 exposure. Alright, let's get this right. A 3 exposure vertical pano, bracketed. Each exposure is made up of 3 exposures, 1 stop apart. Something like that.